Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It Fab. And guys, unfortunately, this is not going to be a long video. It's not. It's not because I've come to the realization that people who really want to help, they do. They don't really talk. And when you look about it now, there's a lot of talking on social media. There's so much talking, and there really isn't anyone offering up any real help. So what do I mean by that, right? There's a lot of podcasts out there that's talking about issues within the Black community or just issues in general within communities, and I realized that none of these podcasts are really offering help for real, for real. Like, we're highlighting the issues, we're bringing to the forefront issues that we're very well aware of already. And we're not really offering any solutions. And if we are offering solutions, it's like, we'll bring a expert up who's a marriage expert, but is in a marriage that they're not really happy in, or just got married, or they're bringing in parenting experts who have no children or probably have one child, or psychologists who don't really understand the real issues that real people are dealing with. And I feel like I am a real person. I have been there and I have done that. And I have survived to tell the story. And let me tell you how I did it. And so why I say this episode is not going to be long, because in doing my research, I do listen to a lot of podcasts. I do listen to a lot of influential people speak. I don't just come here and regurgitate information just because. I'm very strategic and very well aware of what I'm saying, because someone on the other end that's listening, you know? And so the title of this podcast is called Why Do Men Cheat in Marriages? Um, Again, I've done my research and I have spoken to a lot of male friends. Oh, they're not gonna like me for this segment, but it's okay. It's okay. You know, it's okay. I like me. But here we go. Because I know a lot of married people. I have a lot of married friends. I was married. And I know that a lot of men in marriages struggle with infidelity in particularly. Now, have I ever been cheated on? Quite frankly, I don't know. And I say I don't know because I probably haven't caught them. I didn't know about it. I wasn't looking for it. Or let's be for real, I probably was doing my own thing. I didn't really care. But I have never confronted a man on having another woman on me or dating another woman. Maybe there were speculations, like, who is this? But nothing like, oh my God, you slept with her. Oh my God, no, none of that. But I know that it is a rampant problem within our community, within marriages in general. So why? So I recently discovered this fact, because I consider myself sapiosexual. I've known it for a long time, but I think I finally came to the realization because now I have a title to it. I know I am a sapiosexual. I am highly, highly attracted to intelligent men, intelligent people in general. There's people I can hold a conversation with. And we could talk about very deep, in-depth topics and situations and things like that. So, yeah, there's a title for people like me now. And so the realization I came to is that we date, we marry at our level of IQ and EQ. We date, we marry at our level of IQ and EQ. Now, IQ and EQ are two different things. They're two different things. And a lot of people mistake them for the same thing all the time. Intelligence you're born with. You either are or you are not. And that's just what it is. Some people are just born smarter than others. They have higher IQ levels than others. It just is what it is. But EQ, your emotional intelligence, we can raise that. We can raise that. We can work on that. We can control that. Yeah. And so one prime example is like, in our community, there's like two crackheads. There's no love like two crackheads. Because they're on the same playing field. Like they get each other. They understand each other. So with that being said, yes, we date and we marry at our level of IQ and EQ. So what does that mean? Or at least we should be. We should be. And a lot of times, the gentlemen that I speak to when we discuss relationships, they're not on that same playing field with their wives or girlfriends. Because I always ask them, like, so why? Like, why are you seeking the comfort, the conversation, the need to speak to another woman outside of your marriage? Because your woman should be your best friend, the person you talk to, the person you sleep with, the person you are intimate with. Why are you seeking these things outside of your marriage? And I always get the same consistent response. She doesn't understand me. She doesn't see me. She doesn't get me. She just cares about the kids. As long as I pay the bills, she doesn't, really need me or something like that. But one of the biggest concerns is that she doesn't want to have sex. Okay, so now I'm laughing, but it's not a funny matter. So, ladies, I don't understand that. In one aspect, I get it, right? Because you might be saying, a wife might be saying, hey, he's not meeting my needs, or he just wants it a certain way, or he's not working. I don't know. But what I understand, within a marriage, your body no longer belongs to you. It belongs to your spouse. And your spouse's body no longer belongs to them. It belongs to you. And that's from a Christian perspective, right? So what I'm saying is that you have to service your partner. And sometimes even that's not enough, right? Even that's not enough. Because again, women, were hormonal. We're dealing with the kids. We're dealing with this. We're dealing with that. Men, they're stressed out. There's many, many, many factors. So there's many factors. My whole thing about cheating is I'm not going to cheat on you. I don't see the point. I think I have enough emotional intelligence to tell you that I no longer want you and I no longer want to be in this relationship. I'm out. And that's enough. For me, that's enough. Once I tell you I'm done and I don't want to be with you anymore, it's fair game. You could call it cheating after that all you want. But I already told you I'm out. So do that, do with that, whatever you want. And I feel like, why aren't we able to do that? And I know in marriages, there's a lot more at risk. There's children. There's money on the table. There's your reputation, maybe in the church, maybe in your community. But I never understand cheating. I never understand that. Because if you're not happy, then just say that, or walk away, or leave the situation. Why risk putting your partner health at risk by possibly bringing them back something? Because we already know you guys are not having protected sex out there. Don't even lie to yourself. And so yeah, I don't get it. But a lot of the men that I talk to keep saying that they're not happy. And I'm like, well, what does that mean exactly? Number one, ladies, they are talking about us. How we look, how we dress, our bodies. Maybe we've gained weight, we've lost weight. We just are not in the same package that they met us. And now I get it. Like, gentlemen, like, you got to know that women go through changes. You know, we have children. We go through certain phases in our lives, you know. So we might not look the same. You know, our bodies birth your children. Like, come on. But at the same time, I'm not an advocate for women just letting it go. And take it for someone in their marriage that was letting it go. Dealing with the kids by myself. Dealing with depression, dealing with stress and the kids. Business, in survival mode, trying to get money, trying to pay bills. I mean, the stress just compounded. And so you look past the mirror and you see yourself drifting, just drifting away. So one of the biggest complaints is that she just let her body go. So then I'm like, guys, why aren't you working out with your spouse? Why aren't you working out with them? Go to the gym with them. You know? Oh, it's okay, because when I do sleep with them, I just think about someone else. It's like, what kind of life is that? It's a life of lies. It's a life of lies. And it's very sad. It's very sad, because one might say, well, if you're going to cheat, then why get married? I don't think people go into marriages and relationships intentionally like, oh, I'm going to get into a relationship just so I can cheat one day. No, I think it gradually happens. And like I tell you all the time, I think life is a lot more spiritual than it is natural. I think that those desires, they creep in. They creep in. They creep in with movies that we watch. They creep in with music that we listen to. They creep in with insecurities that we have. And social media, let me tell you. You know that saying, out of sight, out of mind? I think there's a lot of things that were out of sight. Therefore, they were out of mind because social media wasn't what it is today. But today, it is soft porn. It is soft porn. And so it's not even raising desires in men. Oh, it is raising desires in women. So it's like men cheat, women cheat, everybody cheats, right? Yeah, there's a lot of men in marriages out there who are struggling right now. And they're struggling predominantly because they will never say anything. They'll never say to their wives or their girlfriends, like, why don't you, or I don't like, can we switch it? No, they won't. They won't talk. They won't say anything. And sometimes their wives are so masculine and so loud and so that, like, some of them are just like legit afraid, right? And even if they say something, she'll never listen. But whose fault is that? Like, you chose your wife. Like, that's one thing I have had to learn. I have had to accept is we have free will. We pick our people. We pick our people. So don't go pick them and then now start complaining. No, that's your choice. You're stuck with your choice now. But I also do know, and I also do realize that sometimes we make these choices when we're really young. Or even if we're not young in age, we're young in emotional intelligence, we're young in just our mental thinking, and we just grab whatever looks good, smells good, you know. I get that. But now you find yourself in a situation. Maybe I love, or maybe I no longer love my spouse, but I'm in this situation. My advice to anyone, male or female, if you're in a marriage, you still have love, work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Because if there's love and there is still attraction and a desire to make it work, then make it work. Make it work. Go to therapy, um, go to marriage counseling, sit down and talk. Um, do everything you need to do to make your marriage work. If there is still love, attraction, and hope there. But if there is none of those three things, I am not an advocate for divorce. And I'm not saying to do that. But I'm saying that you are in a lot of trouble because you will end up cheating. If you're not getting your needs met at home, you're going to look for them to get met somewhere else. So how do we combat this? Communication. Like I say it all the time, communication, like check in. Have Sunday night date nights. And not like where you're just like constantly going out, spending money, getting dressed, looking pretty or something like that. But talk. Babe, are you still attracted to me? Do I still do it for you? I'm not talking about, oh yeah, babe, no. Talk to me. Talk to me. Am I still your type? And if I'm not, what can I do to, spice things up? Talk to your person. Because I honestly don't get the cheating. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Because I've watched some documentaries, and there's even some strippers that are like, they'll have guys come to the strip club and they don't even want they don't even want, they just want someone to listen to them. Like, ladies, are you talking to your man? Are you asking him the right questions? If you're wondering like, oh, he doesn't touch me anymore, he doesn't kiss me anymore, I mean, you gotta see that there's a change. You've got to see that there's a change. Before the actual act of cheating happens, there's so many little things that happen or stop happening in between. There's so many things. But I'm not an advocate for cheating. Like, here's my thing. If I am dating you and I tell you, I no longer want to be in this relationship, I am done, I am out, that's it for me. What I do in the next 5 minutes is what I do in the next 5 minutes. Because I already expressed to you that I'm done. So after that fact, you could call it cheating all you want. You can call your mama, your friends, your cousin, be like, oh my gosh, she cheated. That's on you. Because I've already told you, this is not for me. And I'm out. So do that. Do that. I don't see the point in, sneaking out back. Like, I don't know. I'm not a sneaking person. Like, male or female, like, why are we sneaking around? I don't get it. Maybe, there is a chase or there's a thrill in that. But then once you get caught, because you will get caught, nothing stays in the dark forever. Then what? Then you got to lie your way through it. I mean, we're grown for real. We're grown. And like I was saying earlier, a lot of these podcasts are not really offering any solution for real, for real. We're just regurgitating the same information. We're having the same complaints, the same topics, and there's no real solutions. There may be some that bring on experts that talk about certain things, but I like to talk to real people. Like, I like to talk to real people who's really gone through some things and really pull themselves out and really have a message to share with someone else. That's who I like to talk to. And that's why I would like to present myself like as a real person, telling you what I've been through and this is how I'm dealing with it. You know, I don't see the value in cheating. I don't. I don't see the value in cheating. If you're not happy, getting out may not be the solution. It may not be the right solution. But at the very least, I think you owe it to that person to have a conversation with them. At the very least, tell them I am not happy in this relationship. Okay? And what are some of the reasons that you may not be happy? One of the main reasons guys have told me is, oh, she's changed. Like in appearance, the way she looks, she don't do her hair no more, this and that. Well, let me tell you something. Men, okay? A woman is always going to be a direct reflection of her man, whether you want to accept it or not. She's always going to be a direct reflection of you, sir. How you treat her, how you talk to her, whether you take care of her, you provide or protect for her. Her appearance, her look, the way she speaks is always going to be a direct reflection of you, her boyfriend, her husband. So if she looks busted, 9 times out of 10, that's your fault. I'm speaking very traditionally here, very old school, right? Very old school. It may not be for this new age. Because a woman that's out of survival mode, that's in her soft life, like she just exudes like elegance, grace, sophistication, elegance. She's calm. She's everything you want and more. So if like, how are you gonna call that your girl and she's out here looking tired? That's on you, sir. I told some of my friends this and they're like, well, you know, I pay all the bills. I'm like, and? Because for some men, they really believe that if they pay the bills, that's it. Marriage is a partnership. And I said this on my last podcast. It's a partnership. I take care of you. You take care of me. And it's more than just paying the bills. There's emotional. There's financial. There's spiritual. Are you pouring into her spiritually? Ladies, I'm only saying this because I've been there. We gotta keep it together. It took me a while. Because when I was in it, I couldn't see it. I was in survival mode. I was just trying to get by. But once I got it, I'm never letting it go. Never again. But we gotta get it together, ladies, because like, we gotta get it together. We do. Because there's a lot out there. There's a lot of distractions. And I'm not saying that you'll ever be good enough. You might not even ever be the right anything, right? We still gotta get it together, ladies. Our hair, our nails, our lashes, our brows, our skincare, our bodies. We gotta get it together. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Because you don't have to look like me, and I definitely don't have to look like you. But we just gotta look together. Okay? Because I remember growing up as a Christian, I thought like, oh, I could just show up anyway. Because I'm in the church, he's in the church, he'll never leave me, he'll never cheat on me, so I could just be. Girl, bye. Because he's sliding in DMs, babe. Okay? So I'm an advocate for that. I'm a big advocate for that. Keep it together. I was there. Read my book. You'll see my pictures. If you knew me at that time, you definitely saw me. I was not this because I was not here. She just doesn't want to try new things in the bedroom. Well, the marriage bed is undefiled. I don't quite know what that means, but to me, it means that I am going to do what it takes to keep my man interested in me and satisfy him. And it also means that my man should be doing whatever it takes to pleasure me. Yes. And I'm going to tell him what pleasures me. So you need to have that conversation. I like it this way. I don't like it that way. I like it when you take it slow. Slow it down, babe. Because porn is ruining everything. Masturbation, porn, sex toys, the roads, like dildos, all of that is ruining. They're ruining relationships. They are. We need to talk more. I like it when you, right before you, and oh my God, right after. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian. That's your man. Talk to him. Tell him. Parle avec. Ou comprenez-moi? Chéri doudou. Pas moi comme ça. Don't touch me like that. Or I like it when you, like, communication, guys. Communication. And now if you're really in a marriage where you're like, look, I think I'm married too young. Like, that's not even what I want no more. Then maybe you got problems. Là, vous avez gros problème. Because you might have a really big problem here. Because if you're looking at your spouse and you're like, oh my God, that's not even my type no more. You have got to go to therapy. And when I say therapy, let's be clear. When I say therapy, because for some people, therapy is getting up, going to see a professional and getting help. In this day and age, there's so many books, so many podcasts, so many real people out there who are really trying to help people. And I will put their podcast and their books in the descriptions in this video, who are really trying to save marriages out here. Let's Talk About It Fab being one of them. Listen to those folks. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to go sit with a professional. Because I know for some people in some cultures, that might not be, that might not be feasible. That might not be the move. It's okay. But you've got to do something. You got to do something, Petit. Because if you let things stay like this, it's not going to be good for anyone. It's not going to be good for anyone. But Fab, like, she's always working. She doesn't pay me no attention. She's always working. She's always... Why is she working so much, so hard? Are you not taking care of her financially? Is she the breadwinner in the relationship? Again, communication. Because there's no reason why a woman should be outworking you in a marriage. You know? But I do know some women who work a lot just to avoid being... I don't get it. I tell you right now, I don't get it. If there's one thing that pisses me off when I talk to some guys and they talk about how the reasons why their wives just don't want to have sex, like, it's just mind-blowing to me. Or some men who don't want to have sex. Like, it is mind-blowing to me. Like, you owe that man sex. You owe your wife sex. If you're not having sex, where is the relationship? What do you think is going to happen in your marriage? They're going to start sliding in people's DMs, guys. Okay? The work husbands. Okay? The ones that's getting coffee, that's getting lunches, that's hanging out on the weekends. These work husbands. Okay. He's going to start sliding in some DMs, sis. He's going to start sliding in some DMs, sis. Yeah. Why all of that? Have a conversation. See a sex therapist. What did she just say? Yes. There are books on sex therapy. Or go see a sex therapist. Why can't I climax for him? Why I don't want him? You don't want him. You don't want him to touch you. You don't want to have no sex. But once you want to have a baby, come on, babe, we got to have sex. Then he feels used. You just want me for a kid. And then after you have the kid, you want nothing to do with him. Girl, I've heard it all. Remember, I'm an empathetic listener. And even though I say I will never drop any names, but we're going to talk about it. Because this stuff is running rampant. Like, nobody's happy in a marriage anymore. Sometimes I'm like, whoo, like, what? Why you said you want to get married again? Because I'll tell you right now. I will tell you right now. Okay? I am disciplining myself, my mind, and my body. But I'll be damned when I get married. Okay? Somebody's going to try to withhold. Because we're going to have a talk. Even in a dating, like, we got to have a talk. How do you like it? And how many times a day do you like it? How do you like it? And how many times a day do you like it? So I could be mentally prepared that, okay, maybe I might not like it and want it around this time. But you know what? I'm going to have to. Because that's what he needs. We're going to have to communicate and talk. So if you're dating now, you're engaged now, talk. You just got married, talk. You've been married for 5, 10 years, talk. You've been married for 50 years, talk. Okay? Because I see that that's the biggest issue, especially amongst Christians. They don't talk about sex at all. They don't talk about sex at all. They don't teach their... Anyway, Quítese. I'm gonna leave this alone because I just feel the feathers being ruffled right now on the other side of the screen. But we gotta talk, like for real, we gotta talk. You understand what I'm saying? Like we gotta really start talking. Because these divorce rates are just like ridiculously astronomical for no reason. No reason at all. Talk. Because there's people, I don't understand. To me, cheating is a combination of being unable to communicate your needs and wants, and you're looking outside of your situation, outside of your commitment, outside of your promise that you made to someone to go fulfill a need. That's just fantasy, because that person doesn't really want you for real. They just want you because someone else has you. That's it. They don't really want you for real. They'll play around with you. They'll take your money, but they don't really want you for real. And here are you ruining a marriage. You're ruining the lives of your children if you have children. For what? For what? I really think we need to communicate more. Even as Christians, you gotta communicate. Communicate. Talk about it. Please. I am begging you, talk about it. You want different positions? Then say that. There's nothing wrong with saying that. You know? Just talk about it. Like I said, this video is going to be very short because I just want to get straight to the point. Straight to the point. You found your person. You got your person. You said, this is what I want. This is what I want to have for the rest of my life. So if that's the case, we got to talk. Because that's what I'm going to do. Okay? We're not going to, we'll see when we get there. No, we're going to talk about it now. Today. Maybe on the 5th date. Okay? We're going to talk about it. Where do you measure at? How many times a day do you like it? You don't know what to ask? I got a laundry list of questions I can give you. All right? I just want to get that off my chest. So, guys, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. My e-course on mindset, the mindset shift, will be out April 1st. My book is out, Booked, Busy, and Broke. I'm an empathetic listener. Let's talk about it. But we got to talk. All right? Love you guys. I wish you well. Bye.